cheers and enjoy the beers. Yes, good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome once again back to the channel with me, Disco, coming at you with some more live stream beer reviews from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar. Oh, I am repeatedly calling the Disco Arms, and it is a bit of a repeat today. Second stream in the evening. Who does that? Why do we do that? The reason I'm doing it is because I did an early stream. Check that out. I may not put that up on there. Yeah, I'd done 3 beers earlier on, and I put it early because it's before the football, and I thought, well, everyone's off, or maybe not everyone's off. I don't know who's working this week. I am not, because it was a Monday, so I had an early stream because there was football on tonight, because the football schedules are all to cock this week, and so are my beer schedules in a way, because I have no idea what I'm doing the rest of the week, either working or around New Year's Eve and all that jazz. So I thought, well, I didn't do one last night because I couldn't get it sorted out in time. And Henry said about it would be nice to have a Sunday stream, so I thought instead we'll do 2 Monday streams. And if nobody watches, well, we just persevere and drink the beer anyway. So I've got 3 beers up tonight. No theme for this one. It was hastily cobbled together this afternoon whilst I was sorting out the football stream. So it's just 3 beers I kind of want to drink and see what they're about, I guess. Pretty much the 3 cans in front of the beer stash, really. All fairly recently acquired, so no old beer on this one. Let's get straight onto it. Do let me know if you're watching along or watching after the event in the comments. YouTube loves comments and chats and stuff. Let me know if you're drinking along. If you're having a sneaky Monday night beer and you haven't got to go to work in the morning, do let me know what it is. We'll talk about beer. I'll talk about beer all night, especially beers and breweries nobody else has ever heard of. You've probably heard of these ones, but they are a little obscure maybe. But yeah, I like talking about beer. All the other streams, fair play to them. Do all sorts of other random chats. I do random chats as well if I get away with it, but generally it's all about the beer over here at the Disco Arms. So with that in mind, let's get straight on to beer number 1, please. And beer number 1, let's see for the thumbnail, nice and bright pink can. It's from the other side of London to me at Hackney Church. I think particularly special about this beer, particularly compared to some of the Hackney Church beers that I've got or had. It's a hazy pale ale, but I thought, having had a few beers this afternoon, I just want something nice and not necessarily light, something easygoing to be getting on with. It's the first beer up on this stream till we get something a little bit heavier on the rest of it. So as always, no Mr. Wilson today to remind me about photos and banners and stuff. So I've already forgotten the first banner. And he's already given his apologies for absence on the previous stream. Thank you for that as always, Mr. Wilson. Where's my phone gone? There it is over there. So I will just step away if you haven't seen this before. Step away, do the photograph that I will eventually put up on Instagram. I am at least 4 sets of beers behind on doing Instagram, but I will get there at some point, and I'll do these just for the sake of it. Maybe I'll get it done over New Year's if I'm not doing anything else. I can. Apologies to everyone on Facebook, because I'm not sure how far behind on that, because there was a little problem on Instagram. It wouldn't let me post on Facebook, and also I've started doing them in advance now, so I forgot completely. That's terrible. To put this stream up on Facebook, so I don't know whether anybody on Facebook will see it. I don't know if anybody on Facebook actually sees any of my stuff anyway. Let me know if you do, if you come across from the Facebook. Generally, the Facebook is just everything I post on Instagram, reposted, auto-posted. But there's a few people I know on Facebook who aren't on Instagram, so it's just, seeing what I've been doing, really. Oh, that is terrible. Definitely need to go and have a look and do some hate shopping, but I need to go and get in the sales and get some better camera equipment in this low-level light. Also, I need to stop shaking, right? Yeah, that's not too bad. Anyway, as I say, from Hackney Church, featured them several times over in Hackney in East London. At some point, I want to go and have a look at their tap room. See, plenty of reviews and videos, I guess. Hey, cheers, Henry. Reinhawk Music. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you've had a great festive times and New Year's week is starting well. So nice head development on that. Easily rejuvenated but dissipate fairly quickly. So we'll see how that carries on. Fair play, thank you. Steinhauser, German beer. Solid stuff, to be fair. And as always, Henry will remind everybody else or anybody else on the stream at any time, especially if you're watching afterwards, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much indeed. Most welcome. Nice, had a good one and a few beers, no doubt. Yeah, nice, solid, hazy pale ale colour. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I wanted something fairly light, even though at 6.4%, it's not necessarily the lightest of IPAs, but definitely well in the IPA bracket. So I'm expecting some heavy juiciness. I did read the write-up at the time I bought it, which was a month or two ago, and I put it in mostly as a make weight to get a six-pack on a couple of beers I really wanted off them, and I just added some other stuff. So let's have a little sniff, see what we got. Oh, that's all right. That's kind of pineapple cubes and kind of other, yeah, kind of tropical fruit going on. Bit weird, as I said on the last stream with the golden ale, the honeydew, to be having that kind of light summer notes in deep midwinter. But here it is. It's what we do. I just drink it at any time. I don't really go seasonal beers, apart from I suppose at Christmas. Watch out for more of them. So I'm behind on that. Yeah, there's pineapple cubes in there. There's kind of apricot, I think. Maybe I'm a peach, maybe. Fortunately, not much citrus or grapefruit. Cheers, all, and yeah, happy festive times and New Year times. Let's see what we get. Yeah, fairly solid. Oh, nice little bits of sherbet pips coming along there later. Yeah, so lots of pineapple, bit of possibly a bit of lime around the back end there with those sherbety notes kind of coming through. Not the least hint of grapefruit, although there is, I think that will come later. There is a little bit of a citrus, but it's not a pithy kind of citrus peel. It's definitely a juicy kind of citrus. Briefest hints of lemon, maybe, but definitely for my palate, thankfully, and you know I always say it, no grapefruit. Quite a light body. I want something a bit thicker and juicier if I'm going to have that kind of. That's unfair. I prefer something thicker and juicier in an IPA, but the flavour's all hitting there, so it's kind of fine. If I'm going to have grapefruit or whatever, I want some nice, thick, voluptuous, kind of fleshy, pulpy kind of fruit notes in the body. So it's kind of medium-bodied, but there's plenty of juice about it. After this, sorry, but there's Robinson's barley water because I think there's a little bit of oats in there. Small amount of lacing going down, but yeah, definitely pineapple cubes. Good sweetness as well coming through. Hackney Church say meet. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Aestas. 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 Don't know. Okay, the goddess of summer, now rocking shades and serving tropical vibes. That is for sure. This hazy IPA is a juicy burst of pineapple, passion fruit, and white grape. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Passion fruit's one I'm never sure about, but it does provide that little kind of outlying bitterness, I think, in a lot of these kind of juicy IPAs. White grape, I'm guessing that's Nelson in it then. Yep, there we go. brewed with Idaho 7. That's a good pineapple hop, I think. Brew 1 Cryo, Kahia Nelson, and Nelson Sauvin. That's that white grape note. In certain pairings, I don't always get white grape off a Nelson Sauvin, but for Ultimate Sunshine Energy, yeah, for sure. Definitely all those fruits going on, all that tropicality, which is weird in the winter, but definitely a good look back. Best before 26th of May, 26th even. Any other info? Not really. Yeah, it does say oats in there. So again, a good can wrap. Hits all the marks for me. Beer name, brewery name, beer style and percentage clearly a little bit lost amongst the artwork, but generally quite clearly on the front there, and a good bit of ingredient information on the back, especially the hops, so that I might learn about the different hop characteristics as I go. But definitely a nice lineup. Idaho 7, I think, is one that sort of is a bit hit and miss sometimes when paired with other stuff, but I think it's allowed to shine there with the Nelson. And yeah, lovely pineapple notes, lovely tropicality. So medium body, a little bit thin, but quite good sweetness. I like sweeter IPAs. A lot of people don't, I know, but I quite like it. For me, it's easy to drink. Not too much bitterness, that passion fruit. A little bit on the outer edges once you see it. So there is a touch of kind of bitterness there on the back end, but it's mostly the sweet, juicy pineapple. I guess I can see that white grape there now as well. Now he's said about it, which is good. That's an easily smashable IPA for me, hitting all the right notes. Is it just me? Doesn't like grapefruit? I know there's one or two others, but I just seem to keep saying it because for me that's what most hops go with. Are you bored of me saying about not liking grapefruit, or do I just keep persevering and finding ones that don't? I don't buy too many IPAs or double IPAs on the basis that it's a bit of a risk. So I think I must have read the write-up on this one and then easily forget about it because my brain does, but amongst all the other beers. But if I did read that write-up and chose it because of that write-up, then I'm very pleased with it because of very low bitterness in there for me. Apart from that, slight passion fruit note. But this is what I think I have to do as a beer reviewer, is challenge myself. But I think I have challenged myself, and I found I just don't like it, so I don't do it. But now and again, you find one with the right hop lineup, well-made beer. Generally, Hackney Church, all the beers I think I've enjoyed have been pretty good. They do seem to churn out a fair bit, but it's not one of these breweries that churns out a lot and just goes with the flow and hope for the best a little bit. And all, struggle with so many different variants of hop lineups. There's only so much you can do. But every now and again, you find a brewery that brings up something decent like this with, say, decent fruit notes, decent sweetness, and no hint of pithy, piney grapefruitness. The one I want to talk about from Hackney Church, I still can't get around to do, and I've got to work out where to do it. And the reason I bought this one, like I say, as a make weight in that order, was the Gazpacho Sour. And I've seen a couple of other people do it recently, and I should have done it back when it came out because I got it as soon as it came out. And I just sort of, do I do it as a standalone video or do I try and put it on a review and then mess up my palate for the rest of the live show? I saw a thing on vidIQ earlier. 2026 is going to be the year of the live stream, and I'm like, well, 2025 was the year of the live stream for me. I've done loads. I don't think I'm going to get time to do any kind of review of the year. I'd like to do that rather than beer of the year, because as I've said before in previous years, for the last 4 years, no, 3 years it would have been, I don't really do beer of the year anymore because they're all great, they're all good enough. And most of my beer of the years will be very skewed by working at a brewery, and all the beers there I think are great, and I'm heavily biased. I have had one or two other decent beers, obviously. Uh, Maybe I should do a beer of the year chosen from the beers on the live stream. Um, Maybe I should just take Paravel out of it and do all the others. I don't know. But I think it slightly obscures my judgment. So I've just, yeah, in previous years, I've gone with everything else of the year. I think I've not even done Brewery of the Year because, again, Paravel slightly might curveball my judgment on that. I think last year I did Beer Reviewer of the Year, which was Slurpy Dave, by the way. I don't know if I'll do that this year because I think it's still Slurpy Dave again, so I might as well just give that to him. I think he's pretty much the other beer reviewer that I've watched pretty much all of his stuff, if only for the fact that only brings something out every 2 to 3 weeks when he wants to. All his stuff is top quality. It's not top quality. It's top quality content, cobbled together slightly, but that's fine. That's fine. It's more about the beer than the technology. So I enjoy watching his stuff anyway. I enjoy watching the sort of beers he drinks. Occasionally we'll dabble in craft beer, but not a lot. But yeah, he's probably the one I watched the most of this year. In fact, by amount of content, like 100% of his content, as opposed to everybody else. It's like they brought out a beer, and sometimes I won't watch reviews of like beers I've already got to review, unless it sort of clouds that judgment on the review. Like I don't read the can labels till I've tasted the beer. I will definitely sometimes, like I say, probably did for this one, read the write up if I'm choosing a beer, if they've got loads of different ones. If I see something with, if I see a write up that's got pine and grapefruit and this kind of citrus, I'm just not going to spend me £4 or £5 generally. Can't be bothered because there's usually so much other stuff to go for. I mean, I think on this one I got is a 6-pack, which was good value, by the way, 6-pack for £20. So I just got the ones I wanted, really. But yeah, there you go. That's just how I review beer, I suppose. Well, let's have a quick look because I knew there wouldn't be a lot of chat today because I'm doing it late, and I just persevered and stubbornly went and did the review anyway. But yeah, if you're watching after the event, do let us know what you're drinking whilst you watch this, where you're watching from. Do chuck some comments along. I often go and pin a comment and give a question, and I often forget about that as well. Forget to do it. But yeah, really nice beer from Hackney Church. Really drinkable. I've looked at the Hackney Church website many times on the stream here, so we'll have a quick scroll through, maybe. Oh, we're starting to shop. Oh, they put their shipping up, I think, $7.99. Under £30 and $4.99 for over 50. Free for shipping at £50 is a good one as well. View all beers. I think we've looked at these mostly before. Let's see if they've got anything new in. I think they've now got their web shop kind of sorted. There we go, $4.85 for this one. Yeah. The Agadoo still on there. They're trying and shifting that, but that's still a good pineapple flavoured beer, in my opinion. Slightly different to this kind of pineapple. That was more barbecued pineapple. Rice lagers I generally avoid because it's just trying to emulate mass-produced lagers in a craft scene, and it doesn't really work for me at all. Everybody seems to be collabing with Only With Love this year. I've seen them as a brewery. This one here. Seems a brewery down on the south coast, and I've had a couple of their beers, and they've been decent. But I do see a lot of collabs with Only With Love. Maybe they're sort of getting out and about a bit more. It's a pale ale. The Briar Patch, the Mackie collab, which I had a few shows ago. Wild fermented apple beer. I'm not risking £12 on that. Oh, a Braggart, hey? We have a Braggart on tap at the moment. That's 7.5%, but that's a 6.5% Cranach and Honey Ale I would quite like to try that, to be honest. There's a gazpacho ghost in the middle. They call it a fruited sour, but it's got tomato, cucumber, and oh yeah, red peppers for a gazpacho soup type beer. I mean, beer's a soup anyway, but there you go. I have got one of those in, so I will try it at some point. That cold beer collab I've got as well. So I like the stuff they do at Hackney Church. Oh, there's more. There's more stuff. First Behaviour, the Fest beer lager I've got in. Might not review that. I might just drink that as a lager. Tentacle is a new one. I've got a wee toesy in still. I was going to do a standalone video and it just never got around to it. Son of a Nutcracker, I tried to buy off Trembling Madness in the order last week and they were out of stock, so I've got something else. But it looks like they're out of stock, almost out of stock there. I don't think I can get enough of an order in. But if I see that, pastry stout, chocolate maple marshmallow and muscovado sugar, I'd have given that a go. But yeah, the Railway Arch over in Hackney, you see on a pic there. I'm into the bustle of Hackney streets, a haven of beer and community meets. A church and brewery merges one. Hackney Church Brew Co. has just begun. So not actually in a church, only next to a church. I'm not reading any more of that prose. As good as it gone. Yeah, so not actually in a church. Are they next to church? Beer for all sorts. Yeah, so there we go. Love a bit of Hackney Church. And they are. I haven't met the guys from Hackney Church as well at a beer festival the other year. A lot of fun. Good to chat to about beer. So what's anybody doing this week? New Year's Eve coming up. I shall be right here, pretty much, I think, on YouTube, although a different part of YouTube, no live stream, I don't think. I shall be watching the mighty Bar Stewards Sons of Valdunican and their New Year's Eve special show that they do, kind of live, over on their YouTube channel. Just a bunch of silly songs, parody songs, and a whole load of puppets and a quiz. So I shall enjoy that, probably with a few beers. Haven't got, well, yeah, I've got to sort my beer stash out. Like I was saying earlier, I was watching White Gloves reviews, and he said pretty much the same as I have. Lots of beers in, but some of them kind of been in there a little too while. So a little too long. So I'll have to sort out the beers in the beer stash and make the appropriate changes on the ones I bought because I just want to drink, but they're maybe getting close to their date or even just not available anymore. So nobody else can find them. Probably they're all probably one-offs and stuff like that. So I might just drink them, or maybe I'll just post on Instagram about them and not line them up for review here. Like I say, I'm so far behind in my Instagram reviews anyway. So and nobody, well, I don't no idea who actually reads all the words I put on my Instagram. I do it because it amuses me, and one or two people do read it, and you know, one or two people read it and get the beer because of it. Happy days. But I just like drinking all the different types of beer, talking about beer. So there we go. Oh, that was, let's see. Oh no, don't know. Yeah, there you go. Do bear with me a second, people. Some small issue. Sorry about that. Small issue, right? So yeah, 6.4%. I tell you what, it doesn't feel like 6.4. That's a 4.5% easy because it is so light, but got plenty of flavour. Packs a little bit of a punch. There's no spirity edge to that for 6.4, but yeah, it's a solid hazy IPA. If not a strong pale ale, really, because there is plenty of hops in there, but it hasn't got that kind of spiky citrus grapefruit note, but a really smashable, definitely tropical, definitely kind of summer pale ale, but drinkable any time of the year, even in the cold winter months here in London. Right, I'm going to smash that back and get on to the next one because it's two beers I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, cheers all, and yeah, enjoy the beers. Let me know what you're drinking. Little bit more bitterness there on the back end. That passion fruit kind of coming up to yellow, but it's mostly pineapple burp. So mostly pineapple going on there, and that passion fruit coming up a bit higher. And I'm still not sure about the white grape, but that kind of helps with the juiciness a little, I suppose. So let's go stumbling on to beer number 2, please. And beer number 2, staying well outside of London, only into Hertfordshire, not moving too far north, is a Mad Squirrel Brewery over in Hemel Hempstead. And we're going up the scale today. So we have got stronger beers. This early on the previous stream, we kind of counted down from 5. Here, we're going up the even numbers. This is called Viennese Swirl, an 8% vanilla and chocolate stout. Now, as you know, totally in my wheelhouse, a stout. Let's get a glass. I'm hoping it's going to be thick, unctuous, and cakey. I'm hoping I won't be disappointed in that. Let's have a look. 8%. Yeah, not too bad. A little thin, but once it pours into the glass, it's fairly oily. Looks a bit silky, slick, and smooth. Decent head development. Looks a bit cakey. I've just over poured that. As I say, no Mr. Wilson to remind me to do the can balance. He'll be disappointed. Hopefully, if he's watching afterwards with 3 cans. Couldn't do that early with the bottles, and I think I've just key is getting the right amount of liquid in the bottom to, yeah, no, we're there, and then don't knock the table when you get up. We're not there because that is not the right way round. Sorted. Lots of fizz in that can now. Just hearing the fizz, and that head development that looks so good and so promising is now kind of dissipated, which makes me a little concerned. Hopefully it'll be okay. Can't quite get the name in. It's just around the edges of the can. It's not good. And that didn't work at all. It dropped out the middle, so I've got to try that again. Going from a low angle, pretend we've got a little bit of head development there. As always, liking the can art on Mad Squirrel Brewery beers because it's all the criteria, nice and everything's going on, always goes on. Oh yeah. So yeah, get the last little bit into the can, into the glass from the can. Like the can wrap as always, the moody black squirrel on there, with some swirly chocolatey kind of artwork. Love that, and all the information on the can as well. Um, so that last little bit of stout has fizzed into the glass, but I still think that's going to dissipate fairly quickly and not going to help with the drinkability. So let's get into this fairly quickly. Cheers. Okay, not so bad. Fairly medium bodied stout, but there's no thinness on the back end, which is good. It's definitely a kind of slightly kind of oily, silky kind of, a little bit of a, yeah, decent upper medium bodied viscosity. We were talking about last week about viscosity on a stout. I think that was usually a latte from last week, but yeah, so some good viscosity on this one for 8%. A little bit of pastry notes, a little bit of slight spirity edge, slight kind of hot chocolate thing going on in terms of, oh yeah, there's the chocolate. A little bit of fruitiness, and kind of, yeah, good drinkability actually. I thought it was going to be a little bit thin with all that fizz and that head dissipation, but it's not. It's okay. It's not quite velvety hashtag chocolatey goodness as I used to use, because it's not full on chocolate. It's kind of cocoa chocolatey notes on full on chocolate. Vanilla, again, as I always say, vanilla is always one that I just don't get. It just doesn't, I don't know, register for me somehow, even in aroma. Yeah, I think I know what vanilla tastes like, but in beer, it just never seems to hit. There is a sweetness to it. Maybe it's that vanilla-y sweetness. And yeah, it's a good balance across it. There's that kind of chocolatiness, a little bit of coffee going on. Like I say, good viscosity and good sweetness. It's a sipper. It's not a smashable one, although I feel like I'm drinking it. I could drink this fairly fast. It feels like it goes towards slightly thin wateriness, but very much saved by that viscosity. It feels like probably plenty of oats in there to get that kind of pastry note. And it does feel like slight short crust pastry notes. I'm a little bit confused on this one, mainly because I went and bought. See, this is Viennese Swirl. Was I went and bought Viennese Whirls, which obviously aren't chocolate. You can get chocolate versions of Viennese Whirls, but they've called it Viennese Swirl. So I'm not getting the kind of jammy fruitiness particularly. There's a slight cocoa bean red curranty fruitiness. I'm not really getting a lot of creaminess. I don't know if there's any lactose in it to give it the milk sugars. Let's have a look. Viennese Swirl is an indulgent stout. Yeah, indulgent is fair enough. That blends smooth vanilla and rich chocolate for a decadent dessert-like beer. Brewed with lactose, fair enough, for a creamy sweetness and balanced by the gentle hoppy bitterness. I don't even want to hear the words hoppy bitterness in a stout, especially a milk stout. It delivers layers of cocoa, coffee, and vanilla bean. Full-bodied and velvety, this rich stout is the perfect treat. Yeah, I'm not sure about full-bodied because there's not a lot of like pastry cake in it. That's what I'm talking about with full-bodied. I'm talking about good viscosity, but only sort of medium-bodied. It's nice. Holds together well. I'm not quite sure about velvety or luxurious chocolate. because there's no kind of, there's not much hot chocolate kind of smooth silkiness, but there is oddly viscosity. There's a bit of biscuitiness. There's a little bit of wafer biscuit there, and a little bit of kind of, yeah, sort of not quite buttery cakiness, but it's kind of there or thereabouts. And it's nice. It's a sipper. It's one. It's definitely something, you know, a kind of cakey stout that you can just sort of sit and sip by the fire. I don't like eating on camera, so I don't know if I'm going to break those out. I thought I would like compare it, but then I realised that if I'd have got chocolate Viennese Whirls, there might be a bit more of a comparison. But yeah, no, it's really nice. I have had plenty of stouts from Mad Squirrel, and they've always been good. This is probably the best bodied one, like I say, with that viscosity. So I just got sidetracked by notification. But yeah, lots of viscosity, lots of nice sweetness, bit of pastry, wafer kind of pastriness. Let's have a look. So you picked this up directly. In fact, I picked this up the day it came out. Best before 25th of August 2026. I picked this up, 2 days after it came out. Happened to be in Hemel Hempstead a lot that week. Nipped up to the brewery on an industrial estate, which was good. Decent pizza. Got to go up and do a little session there. I think I only had a quick half because I was driving. Doesn't say. Yeah, it just says water, malted barley, lactose, yeast, hops, and essences. Essences is not necessarily a bad thing. Essences is better than natural flavors. Or maybe essences are natural flavors. Might be some kind of vanilla essence, probably. Some kind of refined oils. Yeah, it doesn't say what the hops are, sadly. Oh no, it does. No, it does. My apologies, Marisco. It does say hops, Challenger, which again I don't think there's a large amount of bitterness necessarily in Challenger, depending on the quantity you put in, I suppose. But yeah, there you go. I am drinking it fairly quick. I can take big mouthfuls of that. Again, 8% doesn't feel fully like there's no kind of spirity edge to it particularly. It's not even like chocolate liqueur in there or anything like that. Little bit of alcohol legs on the glass there. Not that much in the way of lacing, but yeah, again, pretty sweet. But I like that. Doesn't bother me at all. Um, One second, I've just thought. Okay. The fuck. Oh, cheers. Yeah, cheers. Let me know if you're watching after the event and you got anything to say about Mad Squirrel. I like the brewery, always good. Love the tap rooms. Got I think there's more than 6 now. There used to be 6, and they closed Harpenden, and they've opened at least 3 others in various things. I went to this odd little kind of collab they do. This bar and this coffee shop. It's called Crazy Goat Coffee Shop. That's the coffee company. But they got this bar in the back. It's obviously open later. It's a kind of like is it a collab or is it just like the bar opens later, coffee shop in the morning, do breakfast, do pastries, etc., stuff like that, and then you go in and just there's a bar at the back that serves all Mad Squirrel beers, which is great. I think it's up at Leverstock Green, and I didn't stop for a beer there. I just had a coffee and some pastry because it was early in the morning. I was actually just kind of waiting for the brewery to open, and it ran a corner because I had like an hour or so to kill in Hemel Hempstead. There's not large amounts to do in Hemel Hempstead, to be fair. It's not that kind of town in the morning. I mean, there's a Weatherspoons in a lovely old theatre, which is best to go to in the morning or early afternoon because evenings during the week, it kind of has slightly vicious bouncers on. But it's a lovely old theatre, lovely old cinema. A little bit of history about Hemel Hempstead, but generally it's just one of these kind of commuter towns that was kind of built up in the 60s and 70s. The old town is lovely and a bit of stuff out of town, but generally not a lot to do in Hemel Hempstead, so it's a good place for a brewery. If you find yourself needing to kill time in Hemel Hempstead, Mad Squirrel is the place to go. And there's also a little bar in the precinct that I think is quite decent. I need to get over there and stop for a beer at some point. That's getting a bit more spirity now. It's getting a bit more slightly chocolate liqueur. A good one to review because it is nice. It is a good, like I say, that viscosity. I don't think it's velvety. I don't think it's luxurious particularly, but it has got good viscosity, so it's very, very drinkable. Slight spirity edge coming through now. I'm going to park that one and finish it off a bit later. I just want to have another go at it. Possibly going to do the write-up. I'm not going to accompany it with a Viennese well. I thought I would. All I've got is 6 Viennese wells to eat afterwards. Don't like eating on camera, and I don't think that beer is representative of Viennese well because it's a Viennese swirl and it's chocolate. If I could find the chocolate Viennese wells, that might be all right. But what I'm actually going to do is move swiftly on because I want to go to beer number 3, please. Now, beer number 3, as we're moving up the ABV, having gone from 6 to 8, we're just going to go mad and go 12.4. Why not on a Monday night? It's Christmas. It's not Christmas anymore. It's that odd bit between Christmas and New Year. So, this mad little can, it is a 12.4%. It's called Mash Till You Crash. It's from Dutch Bargain Brewer I've not really heard of, and Norm Brewing, who I have seen about but never had anything from. Obviously, Dutch Bargain being Dutch and Norm Brewing being Belgian. It's 12.4% licorice, carob, and cinnamon double mash Imperial Stout. And as always, done something wrong, so I'm going to take that off and change it. Because I can't spell carob. I don't actually know what carob is. I know it's a gum of some kind of cocoa type thing, I think. We'll find out in a minute because it's all good to learn about beer here at Disco Arms as well as drinking it. So I've got the closest thing I've got to a Belgian chalice, which I always do all the Imperial stouts in anyway. Let me know if you know about Belgian beer. This one was picked up in Brussels by my boss and friend, I guess. My good friend, Mike, my boss at the brewery, and his wife, Emma, who were in Brussels the other month. I thought I might like to try this little can of madness. Oh, don't forget, I can still balance 330s. If you get it right. Pours in there with, again, what looks like quite decent viscosity, to be fair. Okay, I could do the balance, so we'll step off. Might have to move that slightly, though. Definitely going to need to put that down. Oh, have I hit the camera? I think so. Didn't mean to do that, but there you go. I think that'll be all right. So, yeah. Nothing major on the can art, but it does look kind of quite, you know, kind of blood red, kind of officious, but kind of a little bit of kind of madness helps with the red and the dark colours. It doesn't help to. So look, can't keep down phone steady. Processing, come on. Keep going until I get it. Stubborn, as I always say. This is usually where I put a little thing in the corner in case you get bored of just me watching me trying to photograph stuff. You can always click the link and watch another beer review. Once I finish fooling around with this, we'll just line it up for later. I think I got that one. No. I need to get a steady cam thing. So where I'm not steady. Yeah, that's pretty good. Probably lost everybody now. If you're still around, do let me know. Put that the rest of on. It's quite a heavy can. Quite a heavy can. It's quite a heavy beer. I knew I'd knock that. There you go. Greetings. I'm a favourite Leeds fan. Can't think of any others off the top of my head, so it might as well be. Well, yes. Hope you had a good football weekend. I've not looked up in the leagues above. We drew 1-1 with bloody Wickham today. One of the few other teams in the league with swear words in the name. Not quite as bad as fucking Chelsea, but bloody Wickham. Fucking 1-0, 94th minute. I need a beer after that. I also needed a beer before it. So yeah, we're on the third beer of the night. Appropriately 330ml can of a 12.4% Belgian and Dutch collab called Mash Till You Crash. I believe it's double mashed, so that's, and I shouldn't do this 3 or 4 beers in, or sorry, 6 beers in, as I am now, because this involves science and brewing and stuff, and I should know all about this. Don't really, but something about you take the mash, pour off some of the liquor, and use that to mash in a second time. So 2 lots of grain, which I think makes for an expensive beer. I've never done a double mash or never been involved in it. Don't fully understand it. But it supposedly brings out all those flavors. So let's see what flavor we get in here. Nose is blocked up. Let's try and clear that for a second because I want to smell some stuff out of this. It's cold tonight, isn't it? No, don't get too much stout in this. There's a little bit of oddly savoury aroma in there, to be fair. Yeah. Cheers. I can't remember what cheers is in Dutch. Maybe it's Prost like the Germans, and I've no idea what it is in Belgian. Do let me know if you know what cheers is in Dutch or Belgian. Belgian French or Belgian Walloon. But anyway, cheers. Hey, well, one more. Right. Oh, the flavour. Yeah, so plenty of flavour, plenty of spirity edge for 12.4%, lots of sweetness. Feels quite thin. It's weird coming off the back of that 8%, and that was that viscosity, that thickness it had. This feels thinner still. No, there's some viscosity there. There's definitely some oiliness, some viscosity to it, and that kind of spirity edge. I'm mostly getting sweet chocolate there. Is there cinnamon there? I don't think I would guess cinnamon unless I'd read it on the description. There's definitely some sweetness, but it feels more like really sweet chocolate. Definitely a lot of chocolate notes. It's definitely nice. It's definitely in my wheelhouse. Definitely the sort of big stout I like. I don't necessarily need a 12% stout. 8% is fair enough. There's that kind of, yeah, there's that licoricey thing now. That kind of, that slight sort of drying note. Slurpy Dave. Yeah, man, I was just talking about you, sir. Good evening. This is late for you. I'm guessing on holidays or whatever. Cheers, my man. Dave, how you doing? Hope you've had a great Christmas and a jolly good holidays, festive season. Hope you've had some good beers. I look forward to hearing about them. Yeah, I've done a quick late stream, hastily cobbled together with some random cans. So, 12.4% stout, highly unnecessary. Slightly fruity now as well. They're coming through. There's a little bit of fruit note going on. It's kind of one for like sitting by the fire. Just been having a few by a pub fire. Do you know what? I mean, it'd be difficult to have one of these in a pub because finding a 12.4% beer in a cask, not many pubs are going to put that on. So it's a kind of canned beer, but it's the sort of beer that you would just while away the hours reading the newspaper or whatever on an old comfy sofa in a pub. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, 12.4%. The previous one was 8%. So I don't know. It's not one that you need a lot of, a cheeky third. There's not as much. There is a lot of flavour in it, but it's not. I can't pick out all of the flavours that they describe. It's got that kind of oily thickness, viscosity, kind of spirity edge. Can't work out what the spirit is. It is a little thin, but it's got the viscosity covers it. It's like, yeah, it's got that kind of sliding towards chocolate liqueur. I can't quite pick out the cinnamon, although I think that sweetness is part of it. Still don't really know what carob is. So let's find out. What is carob? Carob. There we go. Google has done its thing, and we shall find out what is carob. I know it's some kind of cocoa chocolatey thing, isn't it? Basically, let's. Who says beer isn't educational even at 11 o'clock at night on a 12%? That looks vicious, whatever that is. So good old Wikipedia. Carob is a. Oh yes, don't do that when I'm trying to reach it. Right, carob is a flowering evergreen tree or shrub in some scientific subfamily of the legume. Carob tree is native to Mediterranean regions in the Middle East, widely cultivated for its edible fruit, which takes the form of seed pods. Carob pods have a number of culinary applications, including a powder or chips that can be used as a chocolate alternative. So that's where the chocolate notes are coming from. The seeds are used to produce locust bean gum or carob gum, a common thickening agent used in food processing. Well, I tell you what, that's kind of, I guess, then maybe where that viscosity comes from. It's still not properly thick, but it's definitely got that feeling in the mouth of a kind of viscous kind of liquid. I suppose they do look like kind of cocoa or vanilla pods, don't they? Oh, really nice kind of spirity edge to that there. So yeah, that's what carob is, a chocolate alternative. So it's definitely bringing that kind of chocolate note to it. The sweetness is there, I guess, from the cinnamon. Nice lunchtime 12% beer. Tenerife nearly drowned in the pool later. I tell you what, 12% at lunchtime. I mean, I don't mind 12%. You've got to try it, and I mean, Belgium and Holland. I remember sitting in a town square in Holland, in an obscure kind of town called Enschede. Football had been called off, so we went to like this bar, and it was all a kind of piazza kind of bar sitting out in the square with the things. And we got to the end of the evening. We'd been there 3 or 4 hours, and I looked at the menu at the end of it and realised we hadn't drunk anything under 7%. So the Dutch and the Belgians do like a strong beer. I don't know about the Spanish, really. But yeah, when you're on holiday in Tenerife, a 12% beer at lunchtime, don't go swimming, just sit by the bar, sit by the pool and have a little siesta. That's what they do, isn't it? Have a little snooze. Yeah, but the Dutch and Belgians are pretty good with their strong beer, and you get the occasional really strong stout, Imperial stouts. Like I say, this one's double mashed, where you put the liquor back through the next mash. I suppose you have to have a second mash tun. Don't know how that works, but yeah, I could sit and drink this at lunchtime. It would be after lunch. It's like a lunchtime dessert. But it's you wouldn't get a lot done in the afternoon after this. I don't know, this 8%, the Mad Squirrel, you wouldn't get that's a dessert beer pretty much. You wouldn't get a lot done in the afternoon after a pint of that. I'm only doing these because I just hastily cobbled together this stream, and I thought, well, I just want to drink these beers. I want to see what they're about, and I haven't got to get up for work in the morning, so doesn't matter. The only thing I've got to get up to do tomorrow is possibly go to the pub at lunchtime or in the evening. I've got actually loads of shit to do tomorrow morning, but I'll try and do that. But yeah, 12% at lunchtime, especially this time of year, especially a nice chocolatey stout. My nose is blocking up again. Sorry about the sniffs. But yeah, there we go. Dutch Bargain and Norm Brewing. Absolutely Superb. I will be very careful to thank my boss for bringing me this and his wife on a recent trip to Belgium. Oh, I didn't realise this. To be fair, to be fair, there's got a good English explanation. Um, the Dutch, especially, and certainly to the Belgians, as much as they have their own language, do pretty much all speak English because they like. I think they say that nobody speaks Dutch apart from the Dutch, South African, Afrikaans probably, but I know a very few things in Holland having travelled in Dutch, having travelled to Holland a fair bit. But fair play that they put it in English. I don't mind if they didn't. I just translated, but it helps me out. So it says Norm collab double mash Imperial Stout collab with Norm. Last year, we met the brewers of Norm at the Brews Beer Festival. It was a no-brainer that we should be brewing together one day, and that day is today. We decided on double mash stout. To build up layers, we add licorice and carob in the second mash. During fermentation, we spice up the brew with a hint of cinnamon. Expect a big, bold, and velvety Imperial Stout with a layered bouquet of flavors. No oats, funnily enough. Just water, yeast, hops, licorice, carob, and cinnamon. I guess the carob gets that kind of thickness, that viscosity, rather than the oaty kind of smoothness. I'm sure I've heard of Dutch Bargain. Like that logo seems familiar. I didn't need to do this now. Best before 18th of March 2027. I could have left that a bit. But I'm glad I tried it. It's really, really nice beer. Mostly Crash. I read the thing about it. It's like a 3-hour boil. I was looking at it. I was trying to line this up earlier. There we go. Mostly Crash collab with Norm. Let's move it up a bit so I can bloody read it. 12% at €6. Now, I don't know what the current conversion rate, but I always assume even at £6 for a 330 can, at 12%, that's not a bad deal, to be fair. So this is off Dutch Bargain's own website. Let's have a little look. They've got a web shop. I'm not going to buy anything, but let's see what else they've got on there. On their website, Dubai Chocolate Bar, of course. Kind of with Frontal. I haven't seen anything for a long time. Mexican chocolate stout, Cartel de Cacao. Again, another Dubai chocolate. I guess that's pistachio. I'm fairly certain I've seen some of these 330 cans in Beer 52 or something. Whoa, hang on a minute. Hold the phone a second. They've got a potato IPA. Hang on, I requested that in English. As much as I can speak 4 things in Netherlands. It won't translate. Hey, there we go. Another collab. Peeper Post. Don't know now. Together we have harvested a lot of potatoes to replace part of the grain dump. So the starch, so the starch potatoes gives a silky round mouthfeel. So whether you're team fries or frites, that's the difference between obviously Dutch and Belgian. pommes frites, take a break and enjoy this beautiful potato beer. Just chatting to Adam at Mersey Beers about vegetable beers. I do have a sweet potato beer in from Japan. I've done a review of it. Check that out at some point. But yeah, potatoes and beers. There's St Ives Brewery down in Cornwall that do a potato beer, roast potato and rosemary beer. I'm interested in random and weird beers like that. Would you try a potato? Would you try a potato beer? It's not actually as weird as it sounds. It's just about the sugars in starch, really. And the sugars then go on what the yeast feeds off of to make the alcohol. So it makes a lot of sense. Big note of cinnamon there on the back end. They got a bunch of IPAs as well. Yeah, I would totally try a potato beer. Don't know about you, but I would try a potato beer. Why not? But yeah, as stouts go, this is a hell of an end to the evening, even though it's a quick, hastily cobbled together selection of beers. Kind of enjoyed them actually. All the beers were really, really good. I think if you tried a potato beer without knowing it was potato, it wouldn't worry you because it'd just be like a normal beer. Really, it's just the sugars. Had a bread beer, it's basically just the same with bread. It's just the wheat jam and the starches and the sugars that then get fermented. So potato beer isn't that weird, to be honest. It's just a different way of getting those starch sugars to the yeast ferments. I'm trying to get my boss to do a potato beer because it's farm, and it's farmhouse. It works. Potato and rosemary. Grow rosemary on a farm. So a lot of bread-based beers about at the moment. Recycled bread, second-hand bread. You'll find in about a month or so there'll be a lot of hot cross bun beers. Leftover hot cross bun. It's the same deal. Just the starches to ferment. I'm starting to talk bollocks because I'm on a 12%. So I think I need to sit back, look at another part of the internet, and just enjoy these last two stouts. And this one's really, really nice. Absolutely lovely. It's a little bit late. It's one you can sit and sip late, and it is a little bit late now. But so that's my Monday Club extra. Thanks to you guys for popping in for Monday Club. Thanks to everybody who popped in on the original Monday Club a couple of 3 hours ago, before the football. If you're watching after the event, please do comment about the beers. Please do click like and subscribe. I'm going to go, that is a really heavy can. That's really light. But for a 330 can, it's like a steel can or something, whether that's tin. Not sure. We'll see. But yeah, cheers, Henry, as always. Rian Hawk's music coming through. Provided, by the way, Rian Hawk's provided the intro music to this stream, as pretty much always I do. Thank you very much indeed for that, Henry. Have a great rest of holiday season, festive times. Have a great new year, whatever you're doing for New Year's, everyone. And I might do a stream tomorrow. I've got some beers arriving tomorrow. I said I wouldn't. In fact, I said I wouldn't in January. So the fact they're arriving tomorrow overnight doesn't really count because I needed one more Christmas beer. So if that gets in good time, I may do a Christmas beer stream tomorrow night just to get rid of the other two Christmas beers. I wanted the third one. That's not the end of it because next week I'll probably do a winter beers because I've got a couple of beers that say winter in them. So we'll do that. And as always, big love. See you soon. Have a great week. Enjoy the beers, whatever you do. And I've had a great night. I'm just going to sit back and really enjoy these two big stouts. I'm going to turn the heater on, pretend it's a fire, and just sit in cozy warmth. I will have a Viennese well to go with that. I just won't eat on camera. There's no need. Don't need all the crumbs. Have a great one. Let me find the outro. It's there somewhere. My nose is about to block up entirely as well. Oh, I've lost the outro. There it is. Yeah, so I've been Disco of Just Disco Beer Reviews from here in front of the cans and bottles at the Disco Arms. Have a great New Year's week. Merry festive times, what's left of it, and a happy New Year to you all. Might see you tomorrow night for some more beers, and I'll say that all again. But until then, cheers and enjoy the beers.